Hello everyone, welcome to Sunday Shogi. We're a little bit early, but I see you guys are ready, so we shall jump in. Hello Mifa, hello CF, hello K2, sup Mori. Nimi already posting the Kifu, alright, we shall put it into our list of Kifu, because today we analyze your Kifu, or rather roast it. And we're gonna have fun during it, right? Mifa Skifu, yes sir. Roast your opponent. That's a very unusual request, but Eon Grey is your opponent, alright? Sorry, Yellow. Nivea says, Caro, one of my Canadian VSL peeps is in doing a match in like 10 minutes. Hopefully you know how WSL is. So you're saying I should be watching that game? Hopefully it's going to be played? That's what you're saying? And Mori's game, this is where I dominated, but still wanted to take a look at it. Alright, oh, the Nifu one, gotcha. Speaking of Nifu, we have a new sticker on our Discord server. You guys can try it out, it's animated Nifu. I believe it's Hidechi's hand? I'm not sure really, it looked like Hidechi's hand to me. Yeah, we could take a look at it, Nimia. We could. We have free Kifu for now, so... Also, I think the WSL is like a little bit longer thinking time. So I'm not sure if we're gonna just sit there and watch it, but hey. Alright, this one. Downloads. Okay. Next one. Third one. And fourth one. From Eon. Yeah. Anybody else have a Kifu link? If you guys have one, just drop it in the chat and we shall be picking up one by one. So we're gonna start with Nimia's game. Nimio who was Kote. I'm kind of triggered that when I click enter it doesn't open the thing. The room. There was no sound, was there? Didn't hear the sound of opening Kifu. Weird. Did I mute 81 Dojo? No, I didn't. Do you guys hear the buttons? Okay, now I hear the buttons. It's weird because the button sounds also turns off the game result sound, which is kinda... Okay, this is the game start end, so it's kinda weird. So if I were to reload the Nimis Kifu... No, I still don't hear the sound. Okay. Alright, good evening, Jason. How are you? Also, thank you, Mifa, for the subscription. 8 months. Ooh. Which pieces should we use? I prefer to keep those, if you guys don't mind, because there are people who don't know Shogi jump into our chat, and it's easier for them to view it. Tom will be next, Kifu, alright? Let's take a look from Nimi's perspective. Gote is on the bottom. Oh, we're not gonna run out of time, Tom. And Kent, sure, Kent. And here the opponent plays the 7-7 bishop. You could take it, you don't. You just Nimi's style, cool. And here you're going Nimi's style slow fight. It's quite early to do so, but that's your style, I understand. Now this is quite aggressive considering the Nimio style. This is quite aggressive. My first question would be, what if they play here? What you gonna do? I assume you have to do this. And if they go here, you go here. And that's fine, you're saying. But what if they play here? Then the rook is there, so it's fine. It should be fine. But we have to consider that this gives our opponent a targeting point, right? It's quite early to be pushing this pawn, it feels to me. I can imagine some things like they changing their plan to put the rook here and stuff like this. Yeah, a little bit early. I mean, this idea is valuable later on, but this is too early. Okay, so that's what it went. Both cast. This is a little bit crazy to minimum. The order of moves is wrong. This shape, when you... Okay, the bishop is hanging basically, and that doesn't look good to me. Let's see. Like, for example, king for free opening. I don't know, pawn push. We have to take the bishop, right? The knight takes. Assuming they take, we can push here. We threaten on promotion. So the silver goes up or something. Then we push our silver up. And we have like this very developed knight right now. De facto next moving the rook and maybe dropping the bishop here or something like that. Or even here. So like immediately the opponent would be able to do something. It's kind of risky looking to me, Nimu. And the gold going here, okay. I don't know the result of the game, but so bara. Everything is around, yeah. So your opponent is going very aggressively here with the pawn drop, but I think he might have a better option. Like I can see a pawn drop here at one point, right? Takada, not Takara, right? Takada. But Takada Ryo has the silver over here, if I remember correctly. Not the silver here. Well, yeah, compared to this, right? Yeah, maybe. Maybe, yeah. So we are talking about this one. Maybe something like this. In that case, it would look slow. Yes, all right. We arrived at this conclusion. So, pawn drop takes. Okay. Yeah. Here. But we are judging your play, not your opponent, see? Okay. I'm not really happy with this rook draw, to be honest. It looks sketchy to me. But it protects this rook drop here while attacking the knight. The problem is they could drop the rook immediately here, maybe. Threatening bishop drop and... Okay, it doesn't yet works. Kinda doesn't. Bishop drop doesn't work. Bishop doesn't work because the silver is here, but we could drop the pawn here. And the question is also how do you just protect the knight? I see. So which one did the computer recommend? Which rook drop? Rook 5-1. That kind of makes sense. Rook 5-1. Oh gosh. It's even crazier to me. Yeah, after the rook drop, I don't think they have to promote immediately. They could drop the pawn. That's what it feels like to me. But I'm not sure. Anyway. So what do we have? Bishop versus knight. We are a little bit unstable, so it's a good fight. Yeah, it transposes. Okay, we will attack here. The counter attack. Take the knight, but here you can take the gold. They have the fork, but you open the rook line and finally use the gold. Drop the pawn, you run. Here's like a crucial point. Oh, it's very difficult here. Wow. Okay. Like I thought maybe, yeah, it would be nice to not move the bishop. And I was considering this move, but I didn't expect your opponent to play it actually. Here was nice since they chose to silver drop, like silver, pawn takes gold, that was fine. You found this rook drop doesn't look like working, and I held on. Okay. Wow. Key. You really can say you hold on here. This is crazy to me. You held on here. How are you surviving this? It's amazing. I would rather consider something like this, but... So question is how to defend the gold drop here. I also wonder if they could play a move like this or something here. Because all they need is gold, right? So if they manage to somehow take the rook, in this case it doesn't really work, does it? Doesn't really work. Yes, Shogi Wars is fine as long as you give me the link. Yeah, so I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a bigger concern. And if it's taken, then we're gonna go with it. It's kind of nasty. So this is why I was considering to do something here instead. Yeah, the pawn looks strange, yeah. Yeah, surviving. So I would say that you took a risk in the opening a little bit. It seems to me like this is too early. It's your opponent didn't do anything about it. Then a great fight happened where you decided to defend, counter a little. And somehow you survived this. You had a little bit of piece advantage, I guess. So that counts. Silver though, silver gold, yeah. I tried to go Migish and Bisha since I know Mukai Bisha is a great strategy against it all the time and turned into a fight. Yeah, it was quite a good fight. It's really rare to win in that style that you want, but I know your style is defensive shogi, so I really liked to see an example of it being used in successful manner. It's just that considering that you play the defensive shogi, moves like this aren't really fitting that style, perhaps. That's what I thought. This is actually quite aggressive. It's like, I'm gonna take this vanguard pawn. But you know, you have to protect the vanguard pawns first, right? Yeah. Like, especially this shape. Like, jumping knight means you weaken your position greatly, yeah? Here you're forced to defend the knight's head. This is why you had to do it, but you can feel like how it weakens your king, right? The opponent played really safely here. But if he went more aggressively, I'm not sure if you would held. You had enough time to like prepare the gold. The gold, by the way, the gold is like one move too early, perhaps, because the pawn is not developed yet. In that case, but yeah, we want to develop it anyway. In that case, here, for example, we have to consider a move like this, which if you take with the silver dies, right? So the bishop will have to take. And it's like a different story, right? Because the middle pawn is deleted. Maybe you can sacrifice the rook. You have to consider those. Maybe the silver can go up, be exchanged. Maybe this pawn will be in between, dropped here. Bishop takes rook. Engine was even suggesting stuff like... Yeah, so rook takes bishop, not bishop takes rook, right? Yeah. And that's possible because your silver was in the center like that. And because the bishop being here blocks the silver, kinda. So that shape is quite specific. Yeah, exactly. It is. I didn't mention that, but the reason why it's fine is because we're quite heavily defended against rook drops. Yeah. So that's the point. And yeah, I really like your defense around here. But yeah, pawn drop. What do we do here? It's quite scary, but maybe doable. Like, if I'm crazy myself and I would be playing against you, I would consider moves like this. If you take, I would consider moves like this. but here unfortunately the king runs. So the shape doesn't make sense. What we want to do is this bishop to disappear, kinda, but yeah, it doesn't. When the bishop disappears, it makes the exit route, so it doesn't work. Yeah, they run out of material, so they overextended here, you're saying. Knight drop. Yeah, here we get a full gold, which is huge, I think. So perhaps. Yeah, but if we move the gold, the bishop gonna promote, right? Doesn't look... It's a very complicated fight. For example, if we try stuff like this, it's still a very complicated fight, I think, but this bishop is the question. It's like this bishop was dropped in the wrong spot, the wrong timing. Yeah, the rook drop. The rook drop, just take, promote, right? And then we just promote in the center. So that's even worse, basically, because now we don't have the rook to attack. Paradoxally, also, guys, if you notice, I'm not sure if this move was quite beneficial. Like, I would prefer to attack quickly here. According to the theory we studied on Thursdays, that the quick attack is better. Here we could also consider moves like this, but silver takes. Does it help us anyhow? Probably not. Anyway, point was how you can improve. So your idea with the opening, I think, has a little bit of flow, but your defense was pretty interesting. So as long as you know that you're not in danger, that should be fine. If you can count it all, a solid defense should hold. The problem with this is just you feel you're better, and then suddenly you miss one move and you die. That's the usual scenario in those defensive shogi. So as long as you make sure there's a clear path to the entering king, for example, it should be fine. All right, thanks, Nimio. We're gonna go on to Mifa's game. And we're gonna see it from... I know that Ion sent us game already later on. So I wonder how to do it. I guess we can see it from Mifa's view to make it separate. Ah, shoot, that was handicap, right? It's a bishop. Jen is playing a game, it seems. Naruto runs Sunny Grants, yep. Okay. So this is a bishop handicap. The thing with the bishop is usually it's really hard to start attacking without the bishop, I felt. And hard to defend on all the fronts. Hard to have a strong counterattack. So let's see what Ion does here. Ion goes for central rook. Okay. So here we could consider like pushing this pawn to take this pawn, for example. We have to be aware of this move. Example one is that if we have this position, that's quite nice, right? We have this pawn, the silver cannot develop. probably what's going to happen. We're gonna take it, then we're gonna take here. So it kind of disturbs our opponent's position, but also creates a weakness. So we have to evaluate this if it's good or bad. Stuff like this. Maybe not worth it, but we have to be aware of this possibility. King for free, yeah. Now the gold goes here, which is quite interesting, because usually you have this shape in normal shogi. We're playing bishop handicap. Yeah, usually they're good early game. All right, yellow. I'm just pointing it out. So here we have Mifa creating a balanced shape, probably pushing the rook here and then having a nice defense shape. And what is our plan here? We have to ask ourselves the question, how do we combine those 3 pieces or 4 pieces, ideally, in the attack? Speaking of which, this shape itself, that's a very difficult shape to attack from. It's a very passive. So just having this shape, it's already quite difficult for us to find an issue point. Yeah, we talked about the issue point on the stream. Basically, it's hard for us to find a point where to attack from. How the position might develop, you can imagine going to Kimura Mino, go pushing the rook here and trying to use the bishop somehow. And it seems like we're going for this shape. Okay. Meantime, Mifa is going for here and we use the bishop there. From the flow of this game, we seem to have pieces concentrated here, but we're still lacking 1 pawn in hand. And this is the problem. Yeah, this shape, it's really hard to get a pawn in hand to begin anything. But here we are. We could exchange the pawn here, but the rook will come. That's the problem. Oh, yes, we wanna be famous. Woo! Where is Jen when you need Jen? All right. Aren't you playing, Jen? How dare you look at the chat? Play your game. So yeah, you can see that's the effect of the opening you chose, Ian, basically. That's why it happened like this. Oh, okay. Now, attacking from the castle side is the one thing that I don't recommend doing. I can imagine we want to exchange this pawn. Yeah, Shogi is a weird game. It just punishes you if you make an early mistake. Like, I wonder. We could exchange this pawn here, for example. If we put the bishop here, if they push this pawn, they will have a weakness here. They will have to defend it, and our bishop will be in the weird position, so maybe we shouldn't do that. If we exchange this pawn, then maybe the silver will go up or not. We could go back like around here or probably here to have a look at that lance in order to like make sacrifices, take this pawn and maybe take the lance. We still need that 1 pawn in hand, right? So how about putting the bishop here, pushing this pawn? If the bishop goes here and the gold goes up, we're kind of happy because of that. Takes. It goes here, right? It goes here, the gold goes up, we have a 1 pawn in hand. Not a bad deal. Knight for 5. Knight is pinned. I see, wait. Knight for 5 is pinned. Yeah. But the problem... Yeah, I think it's working actually. You're right. Yeah, maybe. I don't understand what is point of redemption. Like, I don't understand the English words, basically. I thought Mifa would play pawn 8-5 after bishop 4. Yeah, but then because of this exchange... Okay, let's say. Then maybe we're able to capture the lands. That was my plan. Oh, channel points. Here about the games you've played before. Like my game analysis or like story behind them? Are you more interested in the story part or in the shogi part? Story behind the matches. I mean, if you expect something from manga where this is my old rival and I shall beat them in this game and I didn't. Usually it's how it went. I just didn't beat them. Then yeah. I don't have many epic moments, or I don't find them as epic as you would. Pawn to 4, pawn takes. Oh, I see, Kent. That's also quite a nice idea. Pawn takes, attacking the knight. The problem is in the future it will allow them to attack here, so that would be the backside. Super Saiyan free run. Hamburgers will fall from the sky before Mifa plays that kind of reflect pawn. Yeah, really, yeah. Hey, damn zombie. No, you just missed 1.5 game so far. So yeah, it seems like, you know, he's recognizing that he has this weakness. You're attacking on the edge, which means your rook is now stuck. You'll get a knight. Okay, what were you thinking here? If you wanna drop something, drop it here, maybe? They take, they die type of situation. And then we tend to do this, maybe. Unless they drop the pawn and then drop the knight and it becomes weird, but yeah, it should be fine. The bishop. Oh wait, the bishop is there. It's fine then. Oh wait, you can take this pawn, right? So now the problem we're facing is that this line is open. I would probably feel more comfortable dropping the rook here and trying for some counter from this side. Maybe then dropping the knight. Rather than just dropping the knight here. I would search for attacking defensive moves. I'm not sure if it's good or bad, but... Here gave them a knight. Again, I would drop it here rather. But yeah, I get the idea of wanting to take the lance. There's the silver drop. Sounds good. But this move is possible because of this different rook drop, right? And this all wouldn't be happened if you had the rook here. You know what I'm saying, right? You would love it, Mifa? What am I missing? What am I missing? About the pawn. What am I missing? What am I missing? You mean you would develop your silver? Lance rope looks a little bit heavy. Anyway. Lance rope. I'm gonna go back. I mean, the problem is our lance will be taken. So maybe we have to go back here. Yeah, the point where the bishop should go is quite weird. Posture check, hydrate! Yes, sir. Definitely need a posture check here. Yeah, that's kind of scary. The knight will be taken, this knight will come, we will have two knights in the hand. Kind of scary. Even if the lance come here, the rook can just escape. Anyway, this is all the result of you breaking your own castle, right? The rook drop 1-1. Yeah, Mifa is doing whatever he wants here. Ooh, the dragon sacrifice. The dragon sacrifice. Now I'm confused. So he played this. Gold takes. Silver drop. Rook drop. So here we're not in a checkmate threat yet, right? Am I missing something? I don't think this is checkmate check, is it? Can we do anything with it? Probably not. Yeah, we have to sacrifice one of the rooks. But if we sacrifice one of the rooks and this is not a checkmate, then it's kinda sad. So if we do this, they will take our bishop, unfortunately, right? If we do this, they will take our bishop. This is not a checkmate. How weirdly it may look, this is not a checkmate, or is it? Put this. Okay, so if this is, then maybe king takes will come back to the previous position. And we didn't gain much. In that case, here. Usually you would take the lance, but we're getting checkmated, and this is why you move the bishop. Yeah, it kinda looks deadly already. I mean, this all was a good try. But here you don't have a checkmate, so... Pawn push. The bishop is taken. We take here. It's very... Please finish my kifu. Alright, Kent, we're gonna do your kifu first then. Well, yellow, I would roast, you know, like, "Oh, how dare you attack from the castle side." But the fact that you challenge Mifa with the bishop handicap, I find it very, very good. So I cannot roast you for that. Yeah, you wanna learn, you challenge stronger players, and it's good. It's good. Yeah, I think Rook 1-1 was like a good move that you could try in the future. And just a general idea that that shape that you created is not a very aggressive one. The issue point is what it's lacking. So try to reconsider that position about how would you open the position and what would be the better shape to open the position as a central rook. Yeah, because that's why you had a problem, because you had no way to get a pawn in hand. And without the pawns, there is no attack, as we know. All right. I mean, Eon will have another game. Maybe I will roast that one. Okay, next one. We're gonna go with Kent. Sorry guys, Kent seems to be under time pressure, so we're gonna do his first. Kent is Gote, and this is equal game, so... A quick look. That's the wrong button. Quick look on Kent's game. Bishop exchange, no. Central rook. Ooh, weren't you a static rook player, Kent? Anaguma. And you allowed your opponent to promote their bishop. You were just trolling him? So, what should your opponent do instead? Now he has the horse advantage, so I wouldn't be in a hurry to do anything. Honestly, these pawn drops look really good. It's like having such a pawn drop against Anaguma. It looks really good. And then just slowly pressure up your position and destroy you. Yeah, I forced the silver away. Maybe attack from here. And yeah, the horse, it's like a mini king in the middle of the board. Ooh. Hey, Spinal Tap, thank you for the subscription. 18 months. Welcome, welcome. I love how the silence felt increasingly shocked and horrified, and as Karo Sensei continued to play through the rest of the Kivu with zero comment. Yep. I generally don't like to comment on Troll Kifu because we are here to have some serious how should I improve talk, but I showed you how your opponent should have won this game. You just outplayed him with your tactics. Made a token. Made a token. I'm quite surprised here. Oh, okay. Your opponent just doesn't care. It's like, I'm gonna survive any type of attack. I wonder if you should have taken the gold here. It's like he allowed you to take this pawn, but what would be... Like, taking here seems also to be quite decisive enough, right? I wonder. You went here, which rendered this gold completely useless, so I would expect him to, like, block it. But then you can promote anyway, so... Yeah, the talking move here instead of taking the silver is quite strong. Yeah. Technically, you could take the silver here. That would be faster. If they take with the gold, that's a mate. So knight takes, rook drop, maybe silver drop. Maybe rook drop here. Silver drop take here. Is this checkmate or not? It is, right? If the rook is here, then they drop the silver. It's also a checkmate, right? Or no, we're lacking 1 gold. If we had 2 gold, it would be a checkmate. We have 2 silvers. So how do we deal with that? Take, king takes here. 2 golds again. Huh. I mean, if we don't have a checkmate, of course, we should go for Hishi, but I was just wondering. So maybe this one is better, yeah. You play Anaguma for the first time. So your sense in Anaguma is really good. He just went for the very sharp attack here. I like it. It's just that you cannot allow this move to happen because in Central Rook, this gold is the only one defending here, right? So just keep that in mind. But generally, your sharpness of your attack, like here, sacrificing and going, this silver is very strong. It's a pivotal point of your attack, so that was really good. Then you made a token also really good. Another token, like to beat Anaguma, you need a lot of pieces around it. Yeah, you cannot just brute force it by making checks, but you made this attack here. The only problem I have, I see. Like here, you could have promoted this first as well to not allow them to have this attack, to be a little bit safer. And as you do this next, this will be 1 move faster. But those are like tiny things. You totally crushed your opponent, so. Then there's like the issue of what would be the fastest attack, but those are tiny mistakes. You're winning by large margin, so. Sunflower. King 6-7, oh, that was beautiful, Mifa. Yes, of course, endgame is the most important in Shogi, guys. Endgame is so important. Like the whole Anaguma, it doesn't matter how you make it. The question is how you're gonna survive it. The question is, Mario is asking, isn't better to go for the safest attack if you aren't getting mated? Not always. The safest attack in this case would be the slowest attack, and if you're able to finish the game quickly with decisiveness, you also limit the chances for the opponent counterattack. So you could argue that the safest way would be to finish the game as quickly as possible. But this king isn't like 100% safe. Like a rook drop here and suddenly there's a check. Or a silver drop here. If they had a knight, this is really unsafe. So yeah, you could argue, but this endgame is simple enough, Mori. Like, it's simple enough. This is Z. Z meaning you can do whatever you want for like at least 1 or 2 moves. Usually 1 move, but here it's like almost 2 moves. You can do whatever you want. And it's Anaguma's rush, you just go for it, you just want to find a checkmate threat. So here I propose this because it's a checkmate threat. In fact, this is Atsume if they take it, so it's quite a safe way to win the game. If we take it here, it prolongs the game. Could arrive at Senjite, right? But yeah. This move again reappears here because it's so strong. Often in different variations, a strong move reappear, right? What if they go here? We just drop here, take stakes. Okay. Mifa is visibly triggered, is it? Is that including to resign? Well, if you resign, you're not gonna finish your Anaguma, so probably not. I was thinking about Kanaguma and Anaguma is more important than Rook and Bishop. What is Kanaguma again? My Japanese knowledge all left me currently. Resign is the best just game possible counter to predict, perhaps. Kanagama means silver and gold. Yeah, so in Anaguma game we do say that gold is the more important than the bishop, right? So in that case you're right, yeah. Okay, thanks Kent. I analyzed your game so that you can go and sleep early. And you mentioned something about WSL, so we're gonna quickly... Nemu mentioned something about WSL, so we're gonna get a quick look. I mean, this was... That's actually not forking anything. So the rook could go here. So Jota has problem with this rook over here, not being active really. And the knight was taken, okay. Splinter is doing good, I think. They both seem a little bit lost, but they're cube players, so that's natural. Me googling the meaning of one word. Innocuous, not harmful or offensive. Scary looking bishop up. This bishop is not forking anything. I mean, it isn't. I mean, I'm just stating the fact, okay? This bishop isn't really... Like, sure, it's threatening the rook, but if we avoid it, it has nothing to do on the other side, so it's not as scary looking. Yeah. I mean, it might be scary because, oh my god, there's a bishop, but apart from that, it's like, okay, so what? You know? Now this is more interesting, yeah? Well, Splinter is better because he has like a knight and a lance in hand. The rook is about to promote. And those pieces here are not really doing much. This god supposed to be protecting this king is like on a vacation. And now this is center. Then we probably go here. We could consider this promotion too. I'm doing the illegal thing and I'm eating while streaming. That's so bad. And changed it. No, it's not going to happen. I had a moment when my bishop was forking 2 kings. How do you fork 2 kings? If it's a shogi with 1 king on the opponent's side. And if it's not 2 shogi where you can make a prince into king and you cannot drop pieces actually. So this is example of safe play, right? Going back. You could take the silver as well, but then the spawn promotion is a 310, so why not go back anyway? Alright, where were we? Mori next. Did I download her Kifu yet? Yeah, I did. Neon Gray's Kifu number 2. It's downloaded, and we'll have Tom's Kifu. Alright. In chess, if you put your bishop on square where it aims at nothing, then you are laughing stock of the world. Are we talking about the Nepos bishop that got blocked by standing in the corner? I don't know. Alright, yeah. Nimio, I don't have much to comment here. Splinter is just destroying his opponent currently. So we're gonna move into Moritz game. Moritz is Gote. Everyone's Gote, eh? Today. Don't join Shogi Harbour, you will be Gote forever. Wait, what? Wait, excuse me? What? Weird people are around, alright. So, Mori. It's Kifu. Mori. Apparently, Mori defeated his opponent, dominated the game, so let's roast him hard. It is weird, it is. So, if Moritz were on our stream on Thursday, I'm eating and speaking, that's not good. Let me drink some water first. That's not 81 Doja, I remember yellow. So if Moritz was on Thursday's stream, he would know that nowadays we play like this here. And attack our opponent's shapes while having the left side Mino. Samurai spirit. Maybe one day I should make like a very low rated account and like play against some Japanese people and like see their reaction, because I don't trust you guys. I don't believe those things are happening. Maybe I need to go into hiding and experience the bully of low rank players. Yeah, undercover boss. From bronze to masters. Samurai spirit, yes. Yes. And then give it like some weird country. So Mori is going here for like the old style. Yagura and stuff, but he's not pressured yet. There's no reason to. Quick castle meaning, you know, you put the king here as fast as possible. And boom, Yagura. Alright. Now the opponent is doing some little bit weird stuff. He went here. I don't know where the silver is going to go in the future. This pawn isn't good because it creates a weakness. Now the question is, what is Mori going to do? He decides to attack anyway. Okay, because we're gonna go here, I assume. Now the problem with it is that the opponent has an attack here. So if they were to take, and we take and we drop, and then we drop a pawn, and if we to go normally and go back, the opponent has now a vanguard pawn. So Mori says no. You draw pawn 6-6 first. That seems much better to me indeed. So yeah, your opponent wasted many moves in the opening onto this attacking line, which isn't the normal one. Meantime, you attacked strongly. Put pressure on his pieces, and now the question is, how do you gonna prevail here? You go simply, you put pressure. Oh my god, he's king. What is your opponent's rating? 2,000. Okay. Now, how do we break through is the question. You place here. Then we use the knight. Okay. Okay. I would like to try this move too. Okay. Oh, that's a bad game for us to comment on, Mori. Not much happened until now. You just pressured him strongly. Well, Mipa, the point is you cannot take all of your opponent's pieces if he makes a nipu. Alright, Mori, please tell us. Rarely I drink coffee during stream. Today was one of those days. Feels weird, especially that we have houjicha in the title of the stream, but alright. So the reason why you have those cool attacking lines is that you're totally like pressured his position. You can see how useless this silver is, how this gold is like totally trapped between his pawns. The king is protected by nothing. Basically, the rook is stuck to protecting this gold, and the silver is useless. So I think, you know, the reason why it feels so good is because of the choices you made earlier in the game. There are lines where you sack 6-6 pawn, take gold and push. So sacrifice 6-6 pawn, take gold, and then push. Not sure what you mean push, but there's a pawn in front of the silver, so. Unless you mean push like in attack push, then yeah. Definitely. The problem is if we do this, we don't have a clear continuation unless we just... I mean, promoting the bishop is huge, let's be honest. Yeah, basically all of his pieces are useless. This pawn is even blocking this bishop, which is kind of funny. So, I mean, you won here. I would like you to check maybe this opening as well. Nowadays, this attack is more played. If you didn't know about it, rapid advancing silver. The reason is they're already... Okay, the reason is we learned on the stream that this pound push was made. And because of this pound push... isn't... Okay, Mori, I have to ask you. You can push this pawn here, right? Forcing his bishop to go here. And therefore he won't be able to make Yagura. He will have to play Gangi, so we could keep that in mind. Like, normally what's happening is... If you wanna go for Yagura, you usually push here, actually. Then they go here. Then you push here. Then they push here. What happened is... They don't have the silver yet here. So you could destroy their idea. Well, they could go Yagura, but kinda changes, right? They would have to go... They cannot go here anymore, right? Maybe here. But the shape becomes unnatural. They would have to spend one more move on 1-2 here. Without quick castling, they don't have this option anymore. Yeah. So that's worth considering. And one more thing, yeah, is this quick attack that I mentioned. You could try it out. And then you just destroyed him. I have nothing to say, really. You acknowledge this being a weakness very well. Then you attack the weakness, then you exposed it. Now here... Yeah, I guess that's normal. It's normal. Here we could try to be more aggressive or not, depending on what you want to do. You chose to put more pressure on his shape. Here you kind of block your own knight, so that's sad part. Yeah. Like, yeah. They could try to drop the pawn here. And then what you gonna do type of situation, but... you have a pawn drop. No, the rook is working. Something like this would be a little bit more complex. Yeah, Nemo, I agree. Well, since you destroyed 2 dance like this, Mori, my only question would be, why are you 1 down still? It's a tricky one. But you have a nice streak, right? You're getting better every time, so that's good. Alright, next time bring the 2Q game. Now I'm interested. Eh? Next time bring the 2Q game and we can analyze of how you shouldn't lose against 2Q game. Alright, we're gonna switch Eon Grey with Tom Blade because we already did 1 game of Eon and we're gonna... Oh, again, got it, okay. Tom Blade. And let's take a look at it, Tom. Blunts, sorry. Jeez. Blunts. I cannot... Today I was reading book the whole day and I cannot read anymore, apparently. Alright. Tom. The Tom part checks out. Let's go. Unless it's the Ton instead of Tom. No, it's Tom. Alright. Let's go. Let's see how you did with your Shogi game. You went for third by Rook. With the edge pound pushed. And Mino Castle. Your opponent played left side Mino. Is it? No, it's not. So we have like an old style development so far. You're going for the knight. And then you decide for a Mukai Bisha. Usually you would prefer to do something like this. Because you put the rook here, meaning you wanna put it the attack here. Keep castling. Well, at most what would happen is that you would end up in this position. And it's fine. It's a silver crown, it's fine. Then you have opposing silver crown versus silver crown, yes. So you could consider that instead of the knight to be one move faster, because this move is the most dangerous, yeah? Your opposition is open. So here you can finish it off, and then you can jump the knight later. Yeah, knight is not as important as the gold and silver. Opposing silver crown, never heard about this. Alright, so here we're attacking. And yeah, alright, good. Okay. So usually we would be somewhat punished for that. Because, you know, the bishop cannot really move. But thanks, luckily enough, they don't have a counter yet, so we go here. What they can do against this? Maybe they actually drop the pawn, which is bad. Yeah, they want to keep this pressure here. So maybe the rook, then you take, then they take, and maybe you could consider sacrificing the bishop or moving it back or stuff like this in order to promote your own rook. But then you can see, as you mentioned, you can see that their castle is a little bit different shape than yours, and the silver is a little bit away from the castle compared to yours. So even though you might have a little bit advantage here, it still will be hard to win. Well, you don't have to avoid them. You need to learn how they work too. Central rook. I mean, I think I saw a game of Satomi versus Tsukada a few months ago when they played this. Wait, what is this, Kifu? Yellow? Oh, speaking of Tsukada. Yeah. You did very well so far. This one. So funnily enough, Tom, I have a question to you. Do you have to take this knight? Do you really have to take this knight? Yeah. This is much better, right? They cannot promote here because there's a gold. They cannot promote here because there's a knight. They could, you know, escape, but then you just continue harassing the rook or the silver even. So the best they can try is probably to exchange the rook for the bishop. And we're fine with that because we're gonna sabaki our rook. And you see, still we didn't take the bishop, the knight. And the big point is, now they cannot really use this guy. So we're quite happy with that. And we can take it at any time we want later, yeah? They don't have pawn in hand, they cannot really engage. The problem was that pawn push really was a strong engage because it attacks the weak point of your castle, which is here. And if you could, you would rather take this pawn with the knight that you've prepared. In that situation, it wasn't possible because it was a check on the rook, right? Here. And de facto, this move denies your pawn promotion, so it's not so good. Yeah, it's not always take the piece, yeah. It's about here, if you think about it, here you go for the material advantage, but making token also gives you material advantage. But what's more important, this attack doesn't exist. And this is the most scary your opponent can do. So find what's the most scary move the opponent can do and avoid that, yeah? So then you cannot promote the pawn anymore, right? And this move is huge. It's always huge. It disturbs your whole shape, right? This pawn is suddenly unprotected, for example. It's very, very difficult one. So they can actually drop it here, forking those two things. If you are forced to drop the knight, they're quite happy. Yeah. It's still a very heavy battle, but... Oh, you dropped it anyway. Okay. Oh, that's fun. If we have a free rook, we take a free rook, right? We take it. We take it. Yeah, love it. That's the best move. Now you're totally winning. Now let's see if you won with the... Yes, amazing, using the token. Perfect. They jumped... Yeah, they dropped the knight. Okay. It's kind of scary on our king a little bit here. Okay. We're trying... Okay, this is quite scary for us. You're winning, so you could try to calm down the position and like drop the pawn here, so that if they promote, take the king is a little bit safer. If you allow this position to happen, it's like saying, I'm winning next move. Yeah? So if you're able to win next move, that's great. You drop the silver, they took, you take, they drop, and they resign, right? But the question is this really checkmate? Yeah? If they drop something, it is a checkmate. If they run, is this a checkmate? Thank you for the follow, Luisa. So that's one question, right? Is this a checkmate? And then another question. Do I have to take this silver? Yeah. What if I run? Yes, this is taken, but I'm fine with that. I'm still threatening checkmate here. Yeah. What would you do in this situation? The rook and the bishop suddenly falls far away. So you see how risky it is, yeah? You have to read all the variations, all of it, to prove that you were one move faster. And you said it by dropping this pawn. You're like, this pawn drop is winning move for me. Yeah, I mean, aggression is good if it's well taught. Here it's like, yeah, this move isn't enough. Yes, if we promote, we have good chances to win, but the fact is, you were forced to speed up, right? So it means that something went wrong because you had much huger, that's not English. You had bigger advantage here. So you don't want to let go of your advantage this easily. How about dropping the pawn here, for example, yeah? We have to consider which move is the fastest. If they push, I would still drop the pawn. I'm fine with defending for a move or two. The problem is we might end up in Senichte. That's the only problem. Something like this, you know. We have to be careful of Senichte because it's a way for our opponent to survive as well, right? But I mean, it's possible in this position as well. Or this position. Yeah, the bishop kind of rocks your rook, right? Yeah, so if you're not sure if you're faster, I would recommend defending here. He doesn't have enough pieces to attack, so we don't have to be fast. Well, technically, he had a chance to win. Like, he had huge advantage, so you shouldn't be satisfied with the result. And here, I would also consider dropping the pawn, because now the gold is blocked by the silver. But yeah, I can argue he just moves and it's fine. So you had a good attack, but I think your defense lacked a little bit, basically. So this... no, it's not. The balance between attack and defense was important here. Ghost stone, probably, yeah. Then the opening was a little bit risky around here. Like, you're on the third file, so I would continue being here. If you like the opposing rook, I would recommend going there immediately. Then we talked about how to make the silver crown. I would move it before the knight. I really liked your attack, but here I recommend not taking the knight. And then we talked how is this a big weakness. We talked about this amazing fork. And then the question was, how do we break through, right? Just a small thing. I would consider making a check here, because the line opened. Consider maybe the bishop calls in. Maybe you're not happy enough. Maybe. Here takes, goes here. The knight. It's very hard to defend. Knight. Like, I wouldn't be angry if you played move like this here. Like, try to defend everything, because we have such a huge advantage. Here again. So also notice, guys, you cannot drop here because the bishop is looking at this square. Now, funny move we could try is like a rook promotion. Doesn't work because the bishop is here. But speaking of shape, like, if this doesn't exist, yeah. This is really hard to block because we have only pawns. Those are Nifu. Then this could be pressured with silver. Problem is the bishop. The timing was also important, yeah? If you input this pawn here and we arrive at the same position, this makes all the difference, right? Makes all the difference. Because here we can immediately take it. So this is called the mistaken order of moves. Some moves are more efficient at different timings, right? So the bishop promotion wasn't threatening enough, allowing your opponent to make a threatening move, therefore making you slower, yeah? If you drop the pawn first, it's stronger because pawn promotion is next to the king. And then you force them to move. That's kind of in-between move type of thing. Therefore, the bishop promotion also becomes stronger. So you play strong move after another instead of weakening the move by mistaking the order, right? Bishop promotion weakened the pawn drop. So I think this is like the most important point from this game. Can you feel the difference between pawn promotion and the bishop promotion versus the pawn drop. Yeah, this one. You can feel the difference, right? So this is the order, yeah? Be aware of this order. Yeah, cool that you see bishop promotion. Cool that you see pawn drop. But make sure to know which order you should play them. Luck is also a skill, yes. Luck is a skill because luck basically means you have given a chance, and the question is, are you able to use it? And strong people are able to use it, yeah. The rook fork was beautiful, yes. Situational, Tom. Always situation matters. Always different. From the flow of the game, the pawn was better here. You could argue that the bishop is further away from the king. You can argue that because this pawn is closer to the king is stronger at first sight. But the reason why this pawn is good is because later the situation so happens that this bishop would be perfectly attacking that gold, yeah? So it's very, this promotion is situational. Yeah, it's lighter. I mean, it's written to be a token. It's not light. It's not light. Unless we say that the bishop promotion blocks the rook, which makes it heavier, then yes, in comparison, it's heavier, yeah. Could argue the bishop could promote on the other squares. I'm not sure, Toad. The pawn is very important here because it blocks the enemy bishop also. I don't know, Nimi. We're... Alright, to connect this topic that Nimi is talking about to Shogi. You can guys watch this commercial. That's totally not the It's totally not the right Hifumi. Why is it in German? English, excuse me. I don't... Was it Nescafe though? Here we go. I hope it's playable. Here we go, guys. Shogi commercial with coffee. It's brilliant. You should watch it. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to watch it on stream like that, so... Eon's game next. And then... I'm actually quite curious about this game. I'm gonna quickly take a look at it. Yeah, this pawn pushes early. Now your silver is stuck here. And you're getting destroyed. No, this is Eon from 2 months ago. You wouldn't play the same way as you would today. This is your inexperienced version. Just getting destroyed. It's fine. You did your best. But I know that you can play much better. Yeah, you can play much better than that. So ghost on. Okay. So we're gonna go to Eon's gray. Yellow. Yeah, 4-8 promotion with the horse was quite weird. What do you mean Harbour was almost got destroyed? For this game, I would say that I wish for the proper roasting that we've asked. It's one of the rare games when I really deserve it. Okay. Okay, the game that you deserve to be roasted. So you're going for Anaguma. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure if it's better to move the bishop here than here. And definitely you should take this pawn. It's defended by the bishop. Even if he takes, drops. Defended by the bishop. Okay, it's quite rough already. Quite rough already. Ah! Okay. We're dying. We're dying. We're dying. We're horribly... We're dead. Who are you playing against? Freedown. No wonder. Getting destroyed, man. Oh my god. The Anaguma is inexistent. Oh, good fight. Good fight. Yeah, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's working. It's working. It's kinda working. Wait, I'm so confused by this game. He didn't take this pawn. You're not in a checkmate here. Why are you punching so hard? Now you're in checkmate, but... Yeah, now you're definitely in trouble, but wait. What's going on? This game just breaks my mind. What kind of blitz shogi was that? Okay. So I'm not sure about how to play this as a... I'm pretty sure the bishop should go here. I will do this. It helps my eyes if I'm swinging rook. So yeah, this will be a crazy good move for your opponent, and you allowed him to get here. I don't know what you mean, Nima. Jen is playing Slay the Spire. Jen Saboru our stream, that's confirmed. Jen is not really learning shogi right now. It popped, I had a notification on my Steam. Jen, secret life discovered. I know when my opponent attacks my edge from Mina shape, I should consider counter-attacking the edge since it's the weakness of both players. I think you have to survive. You have to survive. You don't have to counter-attack. You have to survive here. I feel like it. Yeah, that doesn't work. Also, the problem is your pawn is here instead of here. Kinda limits your countering options. Yeah, you have to do this. It's a really good fight here. I really think you should take it here. Like, the whole reason why you push this pawn is so that you can take this pawn. Else it doesn't make sense to push it, yeah? Else you would like to invest this move into here or something like that. Or moving this gold earlier on. Else it's a waste, kinda. Six, 4 square here. At what timing? That's the problem. Ah, you mean like here? Yeah, that's also better. The problem is you cannot use it as you want it, right? But it's still about, yeah, it's about survival, not about having counter. So here they have only 1 pawn. They will have to go for some crazy attack to break through. And that won't be enough. Yeah, that commercial is good, Nimu. So that won't be enough unless, yeah, if they try something like this, like super sacrifice everything type of scenario. Still not enough, right? Gold is protecting here. If they drop it, it's not enough, right? Maybe the bishop will die in the effect, but it won't be enough. The reason why I consider this bishop is because it's also defending this square, if it's here. So it kind of helps the defense overall. But yeah, this point of issue is also quite important, as you mentioned. In the game, the fact that they sabaki the rook, this is like great for them. And on top of which, they got this vanguard pawn and a silver and this vanguard pawn. Black is like super happy, you know? I would like to play as black here. Yeah, it's about him, like the coffee being so quick to make and helping him win the match. And the move he plays in that commercial is really, really good as well. Yeah, the other crazy move you could play here is silver drop, probably. If you really want to go for the offense. To totally break your king, yeah. Here somehow you managed to attack him. I think he should have pressured this differently than a knight drop, but you managed to fight, which is quite impressive. Definitely he shouldn't have dropped the silver, because that gives you a silver. Definitely not. Definitely we don't want to do it here. Maybe take this gold and then pressure this gold. But this just gives... You deleted his token, right? Now you're going here. I don't know, but have you considered dropping the silver first? If he takes it, then you take this and you treat and checkmate. Probably you're not surviving though. Yeah, maybe not. I think this is a checkmate. So yeah, we cannot do that. Yeah, the other pro is famous comedian, so he takes the wig off quite often during board explanations. 110, okay. Third king is quite safe here, right? And if you were to take the bishop here, he doesn't have a checkmate on you. Yeah, that's painful. This is painful, yellow. I was supposed to roast you. Oh my god, how dare you make this mistake? but it is difficult in Anaguma game, and so on. The idea is that you're almost at New Gyoku. He doesn't have really any way to continue checking you. So then you find a way to surround his king. And the only thing that's stopping you from doing so is this bishop. So why not take it, yeah? It's like a natural way to think of it. But that requires to be calm, and playing 30 seconds endgame is quite confusing for the brain. To simulate it, I move the board quite quickly so that I know what you feel during the game, right? So I also don't have much time to think about the position. Yeah, I think your opponent made more mistakes, though. He had great position and he didn't deliver the ending, right? Around here. He's throwing away a lot of pieces, your opponent. Yeah, he's trying to break through, but he needs power. Like, if he made a checkmate trade here, that would be more scary than just checks, right? The question is, are you survive? Is he surviving here? He might be surviving. Yeah, if he made move like this, you would be in trouble, basically. Yeah. So the general points would be that this line of attack, you need to know what to do against it if you were playing Anaguma. And then, because you played this move, you need to consider what's the good point about this. If you allow him to take this shape that we talked about, yeah, he sabaki the rook. Look how it looks from his position. He sabaki the rook, he gets a vanguard pawn, he gets another vanguard pawn, and he doesn't have to worry about the attacking pieces because you gave him a silver. Look how many presents you gave him, yeah? Try to consider that Anaguma is about taking points, and you gave him a lot, yeah? Usually the one that you think are about your normal level, Siov. Yeah, so yellow, I think your opponent is honest. Your opponent made so many mistakes. I would roast him more than you. I think I really have to actually say you made a good fight. You played those moves that go for endurance. Which ones were those? Well, you played this pawn drop here that I liked. You just continue fighting, yeah? You don't give up. Then you play this move, you don't give up. And then you play this move. So the fighting spirit is there. And it's good. I like it. I like what I see. So just don't worry too much, but yeah, you have to study this opening if you're gonna play Anaguma. Okay, we have to hurry a little bit maybe. We jump to Toads, Ghost Stones, Kifu now. I didn't download it. Okay. I'm like, where is the Kifu? I didn't download it actually. Okay. Yeah, the rook, remember it's Anaguma, it doesn't matter as much. They actually want to delete the rook because it's the only useless piece. If they have the bishop in hand, it's like all of the pieces are active. Don't let them activate the rook. Thank you so much. That's the samurai spirit, yep. All right. Manage moderation settings. Oh my god, I have more options for chat settings than I expected. I will check it out later. Nice. This one and Ghost Stone. Ghost Stone! Ghost on, going for... Oh, long time we didn't see Ifuribisha on this channel. Okay. Oh my god, Toad. The Toad is on the center side. Toad, what is this move? Toad, where are you, Toad? In which pond are you hiding? Toad, what is this move? No. You panicked. Why do you panic? There's no panic here. Just drop the pawn as you would usually do. Your king is protecting here. That's fine. Unless it's like 10 seconds, Shogi. No, it's 15, 1 minute. No excuse, Toad. No excuse. Okay. If you play Ghost on, if you play this castle, you prefer to push the edge pawn. The reason is, if they push the rook here, you can defend it with the silver. It's easier to delete the wall, silver wall. Now, Toad, you might wanna do this move before they push the pawn, so they cannot go into third fire rook. I can hear some roasting, yep. I mean, you guys, and you pushed it anyway. Toad! Toad! Like, if I see people who are trying to get better, I don't roast them, like Yon is doing his best. But Toad clearly is making some misjudgments here. Yeah. I've been playing in the Shogi Club 24 for too long. I think why does everything's the same color, the piece and board. I know, right? When I play a lot on Lee Shogi, I also feel they could have put more contrast. Like the board color should be like the Komadai color, maybe. It would be better for the eyes. Maybe we will ask Toad to change the boards using some smart coding. I don't know. You were too embarrassed to submit this, Kifu? No. Don't be embarrassed. You're gonna get roasted, but it's all for your good. Okay, what's going on here? Okay. I don't know who is winning. I have no idea who is winning this game anymore. It's such a good fight so far. Such a good fight. Oh, you attack the rook instead of taking the lance. Okay. Oh, you take the lance. Okay. This is crazy game. This is crazy. Oh, I'm blind. Never mind. Toad is actually defending pretty well here. Toad won, right? Nice. Okay, Toad. What is the better move in this position? What is the better move in this position? Well, we watched the whole game yellow. We watched it in 30 seconds, but per every second they would have 30 seconds, so... The better move in this position, Toad. Yeah. Clearly better, right? You should be able to read this line, right? Take, we have 3 golds. Yeah. Take, take. We have 3 golds. Quite simple, right? This is not a checkmate though. Wait, this one, right? Quite simple. Nice step, nice, but the knight is better. This is actually... This knight drop, I fell for it years ago against my friend, and he never let me forget about it. Four golds line, what? Here yours, what? Oh, no, 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 no. Toad, if you ever play like, move like this, you're banned from the server. If you ever play move like this, you're banned from the server. I mean, sure, it requires reading, but like at first sight, it's like, even if you move the bishop, just move it here, please. Like, not there. But yeah, it's even easier. Make sure you remember, I'm gonna ask you next week, Toad. I'm gonna ask you. We're gonna make a very similar position next week, and I'm gonna ask you. Make sure you're prepared. And then your fate, whenever you're banned from the server, is gonna be revealed. Yeah, the night drops are always the best. Anyway, speaking of what was happening is quite hard to say who made the mistake. Both sides played quite well, I think. We could talk about this rook movement, it feels wrong. Could consider moving the rook back to help with the defenses, maybe. But the lance move looked good. The knight. In that case, we should move here, right? To target the knight next. And then... Yeah, it's quite complex, actually. The rook being harassed like this, that's not good. Like, we should move further away, if we can. Here we're wasting a move because of that, right? Okay, and now we don't have a follow-up attack, so that's painful. So just promotes the lance, which is huge in this position. And then this is quite crazy, but interesting move, I think. A little bit too optimistic. But the fact that you deleted this horse ghost on, that's huge in a way. The problem is the rook. And yeah, you're attacking well, but those are tiny attacks. They're not combining into a huge attack, yeah? We are exchanging small pieces, but we don't have main power driving it. And therefore we end up in a situation where we have like 4 pieces, like attacking some squares, but this king feels so safe, right? Now, to have an effective attack that breaks through, that's a very difficult question. But if you compare it to Toad's position, yeah, he's attacking from this side and from this side. This king doesn't have really anywhere to attack. He's kind of surrounded. This king is safe over there. So we have to think how to make an effective attack and what piece do we need to achieve it. And this is why Toad won, because he had a better idea about it. Yeah, here we're already a little bit at disadvantage, unfortunately. Yeah. Like this silver here is far away from the king too. It was a very close fight, I would say. But yeah, the small mistakes about this rook movement. The edge attack idea was great. It's just the middle game that it all fell apart. We didn't have decisive enough attack. And this horse turned out to be quite a trouble for our rook, so we shouldn't have allowed that to happen. Thank you for the follow, Gentai. What did I miss? It's just Don Castle. Yeah, but this is also why we should have pushed this pawn so that we have some possibilities of escaping this cage, right? Sometimes the silver goes back to help protecting, and the king... The silver goes here, protect, and the king can run here. That's the idea of this castle. It's not really a very strong castle, but... Oh, no, the Shogi Wars. No, don't play Shogi Wars if you want to improve at Shogi. Alright, and did we have one more game? Sorry, I missed the link. CO, did you have the game for us? I didn't see the link, actually. Here it is. Okay, gotcha. And this will be the last one. And you will be center. Ooh. First time today. The first center of the day. Ding, 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 ding. All right, let's take a look. We have 10 minutes. Your opponent is Saito. Okay, Saito. No, Saito means website actually. 81 Saito. He's 5Q. He played the same strategy. So this is somebody mentioned Takada Ryu. This is Takada Ryu. You can see the silver is here, not there. Yeah. No, C3A. It's just that I remember that everyone was Gote. Because I input the name, right? And I inputted all of them on the right side. So, and we talked about it. Oh my god, he's Gote. So, naturally. So, okay. Oh, there's so many points I could address here. I don't know how to make it simple. So you have a... He actually made a mistake, your opponent. He put the silver in front of your bishop. So your easiest way to expose it is after you get the 1 pawn in hand, you exchange and drop a pawn here. It's just the shape that you made. You don't have the pawn yet, though. And this move I don't like because you want to keep the king and rook apart. But let's see where it goes then. Yeah, I would really prefer to attack here rather than there. The rook is not activated yet. I would really like to activate my rook. And this is not a fork, really, yeah. Yeah, okay, sure. No. There is one piece that our king is weak to, and that's rook. If we give away the rook, that's kind of too much. If you want 2 pieces for 1, I would probably do this. Yes, they have this drop here, but then you can protect if they promote me. Maybe that's too much. But yeah, right, I understand. Which you're a freak you, right? I understand. I would prefer to do it differently. Hikari Gyoku, what's that? I never heard. Hidari. Oh my god, CEO. Hidari. You're mistaking order. Hidari means left. Hikari means light. So I was like, my gosh, a light king. That's a new strategy I never heard about. Sorry, but light king, that sounds really impressive. light as the lightning, like a light that we can see, not like a shape that's heavy or light. No, it's the lightning light. No, it's okay. It just makes me laugh a little bit. So yeah, here taking the silver also weakens your king a lot. Okay, I will just watch the game and see what points are the most important, okay? There are many mistakes you're making. But I need to see which ones are the most important for us to cover. Wait, you actually lost this? How do you lose this game? I see. Oh, that was tricky actually. Okay, so you have a good point here and you need to invest in it, yeah? If you got here or something, you don't want to do that. You want to invest there. This is where your attack is. If you do this, as you can see, your rook was quite inefficient here. They didn't cooperate with the bishop. You can argue that, yeah, you tried to cooperate them both here, but now we're not really using pawns to attack, we're just using the heavy pieces, so we'll have to sacrifice heavy piece. And our rook is not really going to Sabaki. The bishop Sabaki already, the rook isn't going to Sabaki, so by Sabaki I mean promote, actually. And therefore we won't have an attack on this king. It's just something that comes with experience. It just looks wrong to me to attack this way. I would be greedy and go for the lance, actually. Because if the knight jumps, the silver is hanging, so it's kind of hard to do. I would like play slowly and kind of abuse his position rather than go strongly. But that's maybe my style. Here, I think it's too strong, basically. Also, this move, you give him back the silver, which he can take here. So look at your king. It's so weak right now. And this is why I don't like this exchange. Yeah, he could go here. He could force a move on you. What would you do in this situation, right? Move back? Now look what your opponent has. Bishop, rook, silver. It's very unpleasant, right? Very unpleasant. So this move can be followed by the way this. Boom, immediately chipping your castle. Why is it chipping your castle? Because you allow the knight to come here. It's too good to be true for your opponent. Too good to be true, this kind of move, yeah? This knight is hard to activate, biting the king directly. Yeah. Now this is a tactical blunder. He can take your silver for free, or force a sente by making your silver useless. Yeah. Next, he's just gonna drop a rook, fork the silver, fork the knight for the lance, threaten some checkmates. I mean checks, not necessarily checkmates. This will be losing to you. And that's because the knight came here and it chips your castle, and also because you were over-aggressive, giving him more pieces. So usually when you go for aggressive play like this, you want to gain something, yeah? If, for example, take, I get 2 pieces of one for 1. I exchanged 2 pieces for 1. So I have material advantage. That's what we wanted. Unfortunately, it turns out that the opponent gets initiative in the exchange. So that's not good. So we have to reconsider. So maybe we should go for the lance instead. This is how I'm thinking, yeah? Where do we take the point? We didn't want to allow him to activate the knight. Here, yeah, this horse itself is not a really good attacking piece, so you have only bishop to follow up on it. But your opponent overattacks here. He gives you a lot of pieces, yeah? A silver and knight. So here, we're still in trouble, kinda. You this. And this knight also is only targeting this. Maybe it's good, but yeah, we have to. It's good because our opponent ran out of pieces, yeah? Here you give them a pieces, so that's scary again. And here I would like to search for a checkmate threat. If we move this knight, it means his rook becomes active. This knight actually blocks him. I would prefer to go this. This is a checkmate threat. Yeah? I would try to find a checkmate threat. The problem with this move is that he can take it. And we give them a silver. Yeah? He cannot defend with this move because he can actually. Never mind. I thought we can juggle the gold. We actually can, right? Now we can juggle him a little bit. It's not effective. This one is effective. We could juggle him around him because of the knight. So the timing, again, we talked about the previous game. The timing of the piece jump is important. And this is not a checkmate, unfortunately. But we force him to drop the gold, so he's less offensive thanks to that. Here, though, if he doesn't drop it, the question is, does he have a checkmate or not? And the problem is he has a move like this here, which is quite hard to defend, I think. Because if you go here... I was thinking about sacrificing the... It's quite difficult, though. It's not easy. Not sure if it's winning or not for your opponent. But I would rather to go for like more direct way. If you do that, it's like you gave... Yeah, okay, so this is the same position like we would have before, kinda. This is a very similar position, but the knight is still here, yeah? If they take, we take. We also gave away silver, but his rook is blocked. So that's a little bit different. Now, my question is, why don't we run here instead of up? Also, just a side note, guys, it can be even more complicated. They can drop the gold here, which is kind of difficult to address, but I'm gonna ignore that for that. The king should run here, I believe. We compare it to this position. Go here, here takes... No, you have to go here, right? You have to go here. He drops a pawn. Take. And the gold is hanging now. You're surviving, but the rook comes in. But the rook is not a checkmate. Yeah, the endgame was a little bit sketchy here. I thought thought you're talking about that position that I said is not a checkmate? Thank you, Jen. Bishop takes 6-3 after gold. Yeah, that's one way yellow, but that prolongs the game. He can drop another piece in that case. Let's see. So this is checkmate threat again. They're gonna drop another piece, which makes your king safer, don't get me wrong. Yeah. So potentially winning. Potentially. Probably drop the gold, take the rook. Type of, or just take the rook. The problem is if we take and drop to 5-1, they have 6-1 pawn. So somewhere around here. If we are able to win like this, that would be great, but I'm not sure. We give a lot of pieces, right? 2 golds, quite scary. But if it's winning, it's winning. We have to consider pawn drop as well. It's a weird move that we should consider, yeah? But yeah, maybe there's a safer way of winning, like taking the rook. Forcing him to drop that pawn, that was troublesome, but there is a fork? No, there isn't, because there is the knight. Now the question is, how do we checkmate the king? You know, promotion isn't really threatening enough. There's also this bishop drop we talked about before. It's very difficult. So this is why I didn't want to mention this move. Yeah, as long as we don't give them a mate. But you see how your king is open to many lines, and that's difficult. Because they have two bishops. And you will have to drop some pieces. And they have a pawn to defend. Why not gold drop, take the rook, 7-1? Because he runs and you don't have a continuation. Unless you mean takes. But then silver takes, right? There's no continuation. You keep giving him more and more pieces. You are 2 moves away from a checkmate. We're trying to find a faster way to do it, or like safer way to do it. If we do this, we at least force him to drop this pawn so that he cannot drop it here. That was my logic, but I'm not sure. We could try moves like this, for example, like disturb his shape. If silver takes, this becomes more efficient. If gold takes, then kind of shapes kind of get broken. But it's not decisive, and that's the problem. I was searching for something decisive. To be like, aha, it's obvious, you just do this. But the problem is, it's not this obvious to me. Like, what I know, there could be moves like this even. Like, not caring about the horse at all, stuff like that. The knight is here to support us, after all. Like, there are many variations here. Must give opponent pieces in hand. No, stop it, Lito. Stop it. If gold takes silver instead of the... Wait, if gold takes silver instead of the knight, takes gold at the end of the check chain in real game. If gold takes silver here, then we just have silver in hand, right? That's not good enough. You're confused why not the knight? Here, right? Because that would lead to this position where we gave him 3 pieces and I was really scared about it. I was just scared about it. Yeah. Like, there is the bishop drop. Like, you have to... I wasn't able to give you an answer what happens after that. Oh, you mean unchecked? This? Then he just runs? It's not good enough, right? Gold drop, he runs. You take, takes, you drop. If he's nice, that would be a checkmate, but he's not nice. Yeah, he's not nice. I mean, yes, that would be a checkmate, Toad. Be careful. You will have a test next week. If you miss something like this, you're gonna get banned. Remember, Toad? Yeah, if he's nice, he would be like, ah, please checkmate me. Okay, yay, I win. But no, he's like, F you. Yeah. He's like, nope. Who do you think you are? Yeah, so it would be nice, but the shape is, he's gonna... Like, it's barely not... Okay, I'm gonna just confuse it. I'm gonna keep confusing you guys today. I try to usually keep things simple, but like, if we had this pawn drop, and the king would take, and we would have this gold drop, that would be perfect as well, but there is one problem with it. There's a rook, yeah? So it is quite a confusing shape. If the silver takes, yes, we're able to drop another gold. And if he's nice, it's a checkmate. But he's not nice. He ended the knight, and it's kind of confusing. You need one more piece to checkmate this king, yeah? One more piece. And this is what we're struggling with. We have this limitation on our pieces, and we're trying to overcome it somehow. And we decided to overcome it by... Yeah, we could go for this line as well. It's scary enough, right? The problem is, again, we're with this position. He doesn't have a gold to defend anymore, but he has a very scary attacking pieces. And remember that if we drop anything, he will be able to take this silver as well. And this is another scary position. So we're one scary position after another. And in this case, as we talked before, the rook is very active, right? So the king will have to run. The only square possible is actually up or sideways. Yeah. And this is another level of scariness. Because we have to read it all. Might be fine. Might be fine. And then there is another scary check, right? This time, we also cannot drop anything. And maybe this rook comes in, finally. Am I missing something silly here? Oh yeah, I have a horse track, but I'm not sure if that's silly enough. There was mate. Where was mate? Where mate was? What am I missing? The problem is after silver he goes here, and then he goes here, and I don't see how that is mate. Wait, it is mate actually. Is it? No, he runs here again. Damn you, king! Mate was that? Mate was where? I mean, the horse can go here. What am I missing? I'm tired already, guys. What am I missing? This looks like a mate, but... Oh wait, we have pawns. Does the pawn help us? I think the pawn help us a little bit. Not really. What am I missing? My brain is shouting at me, mate, but I don't see it. It is. Okay. Sume Shogi. Mifa version. Ah. Is it though? The horsey, but the horsey, the king goes sideways. Okay, I think I see it, but can we do it without tricks, actually? No, we have to use the trick, right? By the trick, I mean after we promote the knight and he goes sideways, we make a check with the rook. And he doesn't have a piece to block us, right? And that's the trick we're using. Is this a checkmate if he goes here? This breaks my brain. This breaks my brain. This breaks my brain. This is actually a checkmate. It's a very weird one. Oh, you mean here, silver drop. That's so much easier. That's so much easier. I'm blind. It is. Ole. Horse. Yes. Well done. Chat and I, somehow together, we managed to find the checkmate. So, my point is... Oh, because you just take the gold and then drop. You have two generals. You just drop them at the head of the king. It's a checkmate. My point is, we cannot do that, so we have to do that, yeah? So then they do that, and then it becomes difficult, yeah? Sea of it, I'm afraid we will have to do it next week, so will you remember to ask me next week to play a 10-second game against you? Or should I give you points back and you're gonna ask me just a gift? No, we definitely can play next week. It's just that today it's a little bit too late. Yeah. Let's do it next week then. Do you have anything to talk about? So I'm trying to find a pro for our TT series games. I'm discussing that with Nekomado. I'm gonna pay for them basically. I will try to set it up for next week. If we don't manage, it's gonna be New Year. Same for the ladies games. And we're almost finished with the season. Need to figure out how to send packages and we'll be able to send out the certificates. New year will be new season, I believe. I see. So basically you can exchange the points for something. You wanted a 10 seconds game. This is what you redeemed, so we can do it next week. And yeah, you'd rather not waste them because it's hard to gather them. Pay me for teaching? No. What's no, Mifa? You can just use the points. And also, I'm not sure if I can teach you anything. Tax. All right, Jason. Tax. Gotcha. That's a very low tax. I don't know about Shogi Club 24 prices, but hey, we have to have our reward, eh? Alright guys, I'm gonna see you on Tuesday, where we're gonna do some Shogi with Paul. And Thursday, when we're gonna continue our durability theory reading. And of course, if you're not there, join us on Discord, where we always have a lot of fun. Thank you guys for joining. Let me see if we can rate anybody. It's Sunday. Maybe there are other Shogi streamers. Ooh, when you put Shogi Mifa jumps up. That's nice. I think Koshiro is online, so we can rate him again. Enjoy more Shogi if you want, guys. No, we cannot exchange it to real money. Thank you guys and see you next time. Bye bye.